Bitch, my hair is like, it's not doing it today. Welcome back. It's been honestly, I don't even know how long since I've last made a video. Let's look real quick. I haven't really been keeping myself like on check with this, like being consistent with YouTube, because I didn't ever think that it was gonna be like a consistent thing, and maybe I said that in my last video. On August 7th of last year. That's crazy. So that's why I really wanted to like just jump on here, because I was like, you know what, bro, like I've been through some shit. Like I'm sure somebody out there is going through some shit too, so like let's just get through it, you know. Like I'm not no life coach, like I'm only 22 years old. I was gonna say 23, but like bitch, I'm basically pushing 30. I mean, life is complicated as it is. Like being a woman in your 20s, it's also complicated. Why don't we at the very least like go through it together, you know? Like let's both figure it out together. So I'm also ready to go to the gym today. It's Friday, like bitch, I'm supposed to be outside, but you know what, I'm here making a YouTube video. And but you know, I'm excited, you know. Like if I could drink a little bit, like I would take a little sip, but one, I don't have alcohol, and two, I gotta go to the gym after this. So let's get into it, because bitch. Yeah, so basically, as somebody who used to be a people pleaser, I felt like anytime I would talk about something that bothered me, or just kind of like wanting to draw a boundary, it always just felt like I was being an inconvenience to somebody. But the thing is, people who love you and people who want to be of service to you, they won't ever see you or your feelings as an inconvenience. As a matter of fact, you're putting your comfort level on the line for their feelings. So basically, you're putting their comfort over yours. And you know, you have to learn to love yourself a little bit more, so that way you can learn to set boundaries for yourself, because nobody in this world is going to be your voice except you. The same way that I have to be a voice for my son, you know, I also have to be a voice for myself, because if I can't be a voice for myself, I can't have a voice for my kid, you know. And him being little, he's learning the ins and outs of the world, you know, so I have to learn how to be vocal about things that bother me. And it'll be simple tasks like, you know, I'm at a restaurant, I ask for a burger with ketchup on it, they don't put ketchup on it. Excuse me, I asked for ketchup on this, do you mind like taking it back, or like just whatever, you know what I mean. Just, you might feel uncomfortable stepping up for yourself for the first couple times that you try it, but in reality, you're going to be only of service to yourself. And it does take time. It takes time to kind of like be able to have that voice for yourself to begin with, but it's like one way or another, you do have to have a backbone. You do have to learn how to really stand up for yourself and just be that voice for yourself, and learn that those feelings are not an inconvenience to anybody. For example, and she might know who I'm talking about. I was in the car one day, and I have this friend who gets in the car, she'll like, you know, check herself out in my mirror, and it's like one of those mirrors that like opens and you slide it open, like the little mirror. So she does that every time in the car, and it bothered me that she would close it without closing the little mirror slab. And this happened. This is so stupid, but I'm just bringing it up because it's like, you know, just like little shit like this, like it matters. So one day she comes in the car, she does the same thing, and I know it's harmless, you know, like doesn't mean anything, but like I don't want there to be a day where I snap because she's doing something that's so harmless to her, but like in my eyes it's like it's a pet peeve, so like fix it please, you know. Like I'm just, if you could please, like I kindly told her, I was like, hey, if you don't mind, like just like closing the little mirror, you know, like I'm just weird about it, it's just, if you could please do that. And she started laughing, and she was like, yeah, no, it's okay, not a problem. She did it. It wasn't an inconvenience for her, you know. Like for the people that love you, like if they really fuck with you, whatever you ask them not to do, they're gonna respect that, you know. Like they're not gonna see it as an inconvenience to them, because they see that it's a bother to you. And as somebody who loves you, like why would I want to put myself in a position where, you know, I'm bothering you? Or that mutual respect is where it goes a long way. So it's like I also am building this like trust, like okay, like if something bothers you, like I trust that you're also going to be able to tell me. Another thing, it's like you also build that, one, that bond, and two, you build that trust within each other. Personally, me, like I wouldn't want to be friends with somebody who I have to constantly walk on eggshells around because they don't know how to set boundaries, you know. And maybe that's me coming off a little bit harshly, but I mean, it's the truth. Like nobody wants to be friends with a person like that. Be vocal about it, because one, it builds trust, and two, people who actually love you, like they'll understand, they're gonna respect it, and they're not gonna cross that boundary again. Woo, bitch, I talk a lot. I stopped vaping. And like anything that I've been doing lately, like whether it's going up the stairs or like tying my shoes, like I find myself out of breath and I'm like, oh my god. But I'm glad I stopped vaping because I think it really did do a number on my lungs this time, guys. But as I was mentioning before, like, you know, you being able to build that trust with other people because they know that you're going to be able to draw that boundary with them, you also build trust within yourself. And the reason I say that is because as being somebody who was a people pleaser, you know, I sort of lost trust within myself because I didn't know that I could stand up for myself. And I keep bringing it back to like the restaurant example, but you know, if I was at a restaurant and somebody gave me the completely wrong order, I had to eat it because I was so scared to ask the waitress, like, hey, like, this is not something that I wanted, you know? Like, it gives you that anxiety of, like, I'm not gonna be able to stand up for myself because I don't have a backbone, basically, is what's going on in your head, you know? Sue me if that was too harsh, you know? Like, and it's like, you have to learn to have a backbone because it's like, one, you don't have that trust with anybody else, but then you don't have that trust with yourself. Like, you're at the very least, like, you should be the number one person that you should trust. And for you to not have that trust within yourself, it really shows how much you love yourself, because it's not a whole lot. Like, if you can't even trust yourself, then really, how much do you love yourself? Because it goes hand in hand, but if you can't do one, then you certainly can't do the other. You feel me? Like, you got to learn how to trust yourself so that way you could love yourself and know that you got your own back, because nobody else is going to have it the way that you do. So love yourself a little bit more, because nobody else is going to love you the way that you love you. Nobody else is going to speak up for you the way that you speak up for yourself, and nobody's going to trust you the way that you trust yourself. So if you got to establish trust in one place, start with yourself. You got to go back to like the place in which the problem starts and just go from there. Learn to trust yourself. And I can't emphasize that enough, because it's like, it took me a while to be able to trust myself too, you know, like, and this is me being vulnerable about, like, you know, myself and just the type of person that I am, and that's scary for me. If I gotta be used as an example for like somebody else to feel better about themselves today, like, you know, so be it. I don't know. I keep thinking about like my YouTube channel, because like I get anxious whenever I like post, like whenever I like do anything publicly, because it's like, like I'm putting myself out there, bitch. Like, not that I wasn't out there, like I sure as fuck was, you know, like not in that way, but like, I don't know, it just makes me feel uneasy. What I also mean, or what I also want to build on the fact that you're not going to be able to trust yourself, is the fact that you're not really holding yourself accountable. You know, I wrote, holding yourself accountable, holding yourself accountable. I don't like how I said that. Holding yourself accountable means being honest with yourself and with others about how you feel, which is true. Okay, yeah, I see why I wrote that. So basically, it's like, with drawing boundaries with people, you're also, not only are you being honest with them, which I keep saying, and you're being honest with yourself, you're not dismissing your feelings, you're being honest about how you feel, and even if it makes you feel uncomfortable in that moment, you're at the very least expressing how you feel. It's all about baby steps, and it's very much worth it, because once you start, like, you know, getting comfortable with it, you're really learning how to advocate for yourself, you're learning how to be, you know, you're holding yourself accountable by how you feel, and you're trusting yourself with how you feel because you're vocalizing it. You gain trust with other people as well, you know, you gain respect, you gain more respect with other people, because, and I keep going back to it, is that the people that actually love you will respect your boundaries and won't have a problem with following through with them. The people that do the opposite are the people who don't really love you that much, or the people who don't really respect you that much, and they're showing their true colors. So be grateful for that too. You're allowing yourself the opportunity to be vocal and honest about your feelings, and at the same time, you're also going to see like who's really been using you and who actually fucks with you, which I think is a blessing. It really just goes hand in hand with loving yourself and, you know, being around people who genuinely love you. Like I said, people who genuinely love you will not see your boundaries as inconveniences. They'll see it as something to respect. You're all very respectable people, but grow a backbone, please. Like, it's time that you do, because, bro, like, by this time, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have used you as a doormat. Like, they know that you're not going to say no to, like, a ride or for some money, or they want you to do a favor for them, like whatever it may be. Like, you're the number one go-to person, you always say yes, 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 yes. Like, you're the yes man. Everybody loves a fucking yes man. Nobody likes a no man. Grow a backbone and learn to speak for yourself. If you don't, even if you don't want to go and do that favor, just say no. That's all you gotta do. And you don't have to give anybody an explanation for why you choose not to or why you cannot do it. You don't owe anybody an explanation as to why you cannot or will not do it. Like, be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real, bitch. Stand up. Stand up. I like how this is just kind of like going hand in hand. Okay, so, and this is going back to me, because I love talking about myself, right? Yeah, like, as somebody who didn't have any boundaries, I want to say, with my family, when I started setting boundaries. And this was years back. I realized these things, like, you know, like, I have to have a voice for myself, because otherwise I'm not going to have a voice for my kid, you know? There were, like, specific people in my family that didn't like that I was kind of, like, growing a backbone and, like, you know, just learning to say no to certain people. And I kind of feel like this lighting is good. Yeah, anyway. And yeah, just, like, with defending myself in that sense and drawing that boundary, like, they called me out for it, you know, like, you're being defensive, like, you're so uptight, you know, you can't take a joke and this and that. But it, like, trust me when I tell you, it was just, like, certain things that just, like, hey, y'all know how Hispanic families could get, like, we could get a little disrespectful sometimes, you know, but there's just some shit sometimes, like, if you don't want to hear it, then, you know, let it be known, like, it's okay. But yeah, so just standing up for myself, like, made me uptight or defensive or just, like, you know, whatever it was. And this wasn't just for my family, you know, like, this was in other cases too, where, like, make me feel guilty for setting those boundaries. Like, if I couldn't give, like, one of my friends a ride, like, you know, just kind of, like, being passive aggressive about the conversation afterwards. And I'm not gonna name any specific people. I should, but I won't. People aren't gonna like it, you know. And like I said before, like, sort of, like, weeds people out, you know. Like, either people are gonna get used to this new way of you setting boundaries, like my family, because they're gonna have to. I mean, like, what am I gonna do, cut my family off? Like, I mean, I did it one time, like, sure. Like, with friends, I guess, more so. You really do weed out the friends that are actually there for you because they want to be there for you, and the people who are there for you because it's a convenience for them and because, you know, they're able to use you to their advantage. So that's something that I feel is, like, a no-brainer as to why you should be setting boundaries for yourself. I've come a long way in terms of setting boundaries with people, and I really hope that it's something that you guys, like, hopefully you're able to grow a backbone and start speaking up for yourself, because really, like, at this point, at this grown age, like, bitch, come on. You know, like, if you're, like, in your teens and you're still kind of figuring it out, like, I get it. Nobody else is gonna do it for you, you know, like, and it's a big disrespect to yourself just not being able to stand up for yourself, you know. It's sad, you know, and I hate to bring it up like that. I mean that with all respect. Like, okay, like, it doesn't sound respectful, but I mean that from, like, a place of, like, I've been there, I've done that, like, please don't go through it, because, like, I've gone through the hurt of, like, you know, just not being able to speak up for myself, and it's a shitty feeling, you know. Like, you feel guilty, you feel bad for yourself. Eventually you're gonna realize, like, wow, there's nobody else to blame but myself. And, like, sure, like, maybe you can sit back and blame your parents for raising you that way, but at the end of the day, like, they're not responsible for the actions that you decided to take after you grew up and after you realized you had a sense of self. If you decide that you don't want to be the person to set boundaries and you want to decide to let people walk all over you the rest of your life, like, that's completely on you, and you have nobody else to blame but yourself, you know. Like, yeah, like I said, like, bitch, sue me, like, cancel me, like, after my second video, like, I give a fuck, like, bitch, I'll delete the whole account. My point is just love yourself enough to be able to step up for yourself, you know. Like, love yourself enough to be able to, like, stand up for yourself. Did I say that? I don't know, but I'm gonna say it a third time. Love yourself enough to be able to stand up for yourself. If you can stand up for yourself, then you can also stand up for others, you know. Like, be that person who speaks up about shit. Be that person that speaks up about, you know, somebody getting your partner's order wrong. Be that person that speaks up about the kid being bullied, you know. Like, be that person, you know. That person is admirable, that person loves themselves, like, that person is sure of themselves. Like, be that person. If you get called an asshole for being that type of person, then an asshole you are, you know. Like, I wash my hands of it. No, like, you're fine. Like, nobody cares, for real. Like, stop caring what other people think. Like, just be you for you. And learn to grow a fucking backbone, because it's gonna, like, when I tell you, like, life and I think I'm just done with this. Love you, and I hope that I post another YouTube video soon. I honestly really like this setting that I have going on, and oh yeah, if you haven't already, go follow my my brand, the Obsidian Collection. I'm gonna be coming out with some new shit pretty soon. And I don't like that people call it my merch. It's not merch, guys. It's a brand. So I'm trying to really, it's not merch, it's a brand. And I have some exciting things coming up for it. So just stay tuned, and I appreciate every single like, view, follow, just subscribe. Like, thank you. Like, honestly, I didn't think that people were really gonna fuck with me like that, to be honest. I was just like, okay, like, I'm gonna just do it for fun, you know? And I am doing it for fun, but oh, thank you. And I appreciate that. If you guys want me to talk about like a specific like topic or anything like that you guys want me to give you advice on, like, which granted, I'm not the person to give you advice, okay? It's not. And if you just need a different like point of view, like, let me know and I got you. I like talking shit about just life and just kind of like getting through it because, bitch, I've been through enough. Oh! Chapulines, come here. Come here. Come say hi. Oh! My mom's gonna kill me if she sees this video. Chapo! Come. Ah! You guys can body shame me all you want, but do not body shame him. Like, he's sensitive. No! Come here! Whatever, fat ass. But yeah, so I just want to say thank you for the support. Stay tuned. And I'm gonna be dropping new merch soon. Not new merch. I'm gonna be dropping a new design soon on my brand's website. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.